Welcome into Just Beavin Season 2, Episode 5. Man, we got a packed slate for you guys today. Week 4 recaps. Our guest, Ty McCain's going to be joining the show here this week. Our Week 5 previews, power rankings, picks of the week, and you're going to want to stick around for our very final segment, a super special thing that we have never done here on the Just Beavin podcast. Andy, the Beav, JP back here with you. Fellas, how are we doing, Beav? Going to start with you before we recap week 4 of this fine season.
Yeah, we're doing well. I just wanted to I just wanted to shout out my background real quick.
Yeah, I was
league
going to say,
mem
let's talk about that, shall we?
I had a league member wanting me to throw this behind here today, so I was like, "All right, I'll do it for him." And his quote for me putting this back here is for our audience listening today. Each person is Matt from another timeline, grouping together to figure out how he can recover from a 1-3 start and a Hill injury. For those of you who don't know Hill, Tyreek Hill, he just tore his I believe something in his knee and his ACL. They said, is that true? MCL.
Dislocated left knee.
Dislocated in left knee. Yeah.
Okay, I saw something on the ACL too,
His leg's not intact. We can simplify it, put it
but
that way.
yeah, for our audience, this is a different Matt in every generation, as you see.
You've already differed from what you just read.
Oh, okay, whatever. Let's just
Attaboy,
get
Beef.
to it. All right, that's
Get to
how
it.
the beef
JP,
rocks.
how are
Yeah.
we doing?
I hate the Jets. I hate Garrett Wilson.
Because you've already made your opinions on Garrett Wilson known.
I'm very upset at Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. We'll talk about it more in the recap.
I also want to shout out Jake Browning. You actually suck at football. It's actually embarrassing. You lost me a lot of money yesterday. Thank you.
Beef, I love you, man, but I think I'm gonna blame you for betting U.S. currency on Jake Browning. I can't say that's
I
my
didn't
fault,
actually bet on Jake Browning. I was betting on someone else that he occurred with, and he did not get him the ball, which was
but
very
alrighty.
upsetting.
Alrighty. First matchup right here, and we're gonna rip the band-aid off immediately, JP. This is back-to-back years where you have suffered a very tough, tight loss to Jake this year, the Hamburglar known as Nuz
The same
LLC.
player. The same player
Yeah,
caused
same
it.
player on Monday Night Football, Garrett Wilson. You can vent, man. This is a safe space.
Yeah. No. I mean, I lost because Garrett Wilson caught the touchdown, and the Glenn Monster had to use his one timeout to get the ball back with 2 seconds on the freaking clock. And then the Jets came out, and the Dolphins were playing 25 yards off the line of scrimmage. They threw a immediate took the snap, threw it immediately to Garrett Wilson, and he almost won the game for me. Almost threw it backwards right off the rip, but ran forward way too far, and then threw a dot lateral so he wouldn't lose any points. Because if he loses that fumble, I am only down 1.9 points. If he loses the fumble, I beat him. I beat Zippy, but he did not lose the fumble. And so I lost on the. That's how I technically lost. How I really lost is right here at the top. The Ravens, Lamar with the fumble and the phantom injury that no one seems to be able to tell when it occurred, and now he's missing another week. He didn't play almost the entire third quarter, obviously none of the fourth. Derrick Henry also pulled himself out with about 4 minutes in the third quarter, was outsnapped by Justice Hill. I think Justice Hill had 82% of the snaps or some ridiculous number like that. I know Hill always spikes against the Chiefs and he always goes off, but just a very frustrating loss. I finally get the production out of Jefferson. Thomas didn't have one drop on Sunday. Marv goes off. Bowers very worrisome. Pollard and Mason let me down a little bit, and Kyler with the 2 picks. I mean, just there's just so many things to blame this week. You take away the picks from Kyler and the fumble from Lamar. This isn't even a game. I beat Zippy by 7. It was a super infuriating week for fantasy. And as we've been talking about, and we discussed today in the group chat, the kickoffs are limiting opportunity on offense because they're bringing the ball out farther, so there's less plays, there's shorter, well, there's longer drives because teams
Less
are running the
yards to be had.
less yards to be gained. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
and teams are running the ball more. To an efficient standpoint, not efficient enough to help fantasy, but efficient enough in real life where they're averaging 4.2 yards a carry. So it gets you a first down, and it's nothing to really move the fantasy stat line. And anyways, fantasy production is down nationwide, and we're seeing that front and center. I mean, We've had someone score 180 every single week, and otherwise you were the leading scorer, week 3 with 160, or the
Yeah.
second leading scorer, excuse me. I believe I just scored, or Zippy just scored the second most points last week with 100, or maybe it was you again. What'd you score? 160 again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was you again. But if we take away the boom nut BS from Justin Fields, Luke didn't have that great of a week, and it's just everyone's scoring right now. The top scorers, if you can put up 145, you should win. I put up more than that,
And
didn't
you
get a
lost.
win. Yeah, and it's getting infuriating. But that's fantasy football for you. Fall to 3-1. The pressure of a perfect season is now off our back. We're looking ahead to next week. I got to give it to Zippy. He stood up through the Jamison Williams dud and the AJ Brown dud, and the running backs really went nuts for him. Bucky played great, Barkley played great, Cook played great, and obviously Garrett Wilson played great. So shout out to Zippy on the win. I think I now have not. I still don't think I've beaten Zippy, so that's unfortunate, but here we are.
Yeah, I want to jump in here. So you kind of brought this up already. This is a PSA not just to those in Beaverfest, but to across all fantasy football in the country. Even in a redraft format, because I've seen this in my own redraft leagues. All fantasy football players, if you feel like you're scoring less points than normal, that's okay. Because that is certainly the case this year. I have fallen victim to it. I know about you guys in your redraft leagues. I know we're all in Boyer's redraft league. And I don't know how, well, last week I had Jalen Warren in my lineup. He was ruled inactive at 5 in the morning, and I had a wedding the night before. So I was not awake at 5 a.m. To figure that one out. But yeah, it's my. I'm like, how is my lineup only putting up this many points? It's like, oh, just because not many people, you're not getting as much scoring this year. So that's first off the rip, and that's besides the point. But for Zip, he's 3-1, his second win of the season of less than 5 points, which is, I mean, that's how it is in fantasy. Sometimes you're going to get those bounces, and sometimes you don't. You kind of mentioned it, JP. The RBs continue to anchor for Zip Squad, and AJ Brown's a legitimate issue at this point. He's
Yeah.
borderline unplayable.
Yep.
Part of that's Philly, part of that's him. He posted something weird on social media after, it's like go where you're wanted or something like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the saga that could commence
Unfold,
here
yeah.
with AJ Brown. And then for you, JP, you've touched on it. Obviously frustrating with Lamar. Christian McCaffrey is a home run player for you this year, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got to feel good about sticking it out with
RB1,
him.
baby.
Yeah, and seeing what he's been able to do. And I guess my only question mark is, how worried are you? Or is it time to panic on Derrick Henry? Are you officially worried?
I will really hit the worry button if he looks bad against Houston. I know Houston is going to be stacking the box. I know Houston has a great front seven outside of the linebackers. So I guess not a front seven, but the front four, front five. I know D'Amico Ryan's going to stack that box. Historically, Derrick Henry has always had his way with Houston, even as they started to get good and he tailed off there in Tennessee. He always had his way with Houston. No Lamar Jackson. Cooper Rush can't be trusted to get the ball to Zay Flowers on the outside. They're going to have to find ways to get Henry going. If he can't even find the end zone, I'm not even looking for a home run week. I mean, I am. I'm expecting
Right.
30 out of him. But what I'm looking for here is I just want to see like 16 to 20, like somewhere in that range, and I can feel much better for when Lamar comes back. Give them some leeway. They've played the Browns, who have been stifling running backs. They played the Chiefs, who I also believe have been stifling running backs. I believe Barkley had his worst week against the Chiefs. And then they played the man, who was it last week? Oh, the Lions, who I expected him to tear up, but he did not. And outside of Josh Jacobs, though, well, I guess never mind. Judkins just went off. So running backs have been tearing up the Lions. It's getting close to the panic button. To shorten that answer, yes, it's getting close to the panic button. But I'm looking for, or I'm expecting a big week this week.
Alrighty, that's all I got. Beav, you had anything?
No, I just wanted to say that I'm really concerned about AJ Brown, and I have my prediction for him. I truly think he does get traded. I think he's gone. Like something's got to happen. I mean, he's the type of player that's gonna speak up, and he's gonna be gone. He's not gonna be. He's selfish. He wants the ball, and he wants to go, and which I'm okay with. He wants to go somewhere that's gonna feed him the ball. Okay. But I think that's my big worry for Jake right now. And then also he's got to get a tight end. I mean, you can't be playing Luke Farrell at your tight end if you want to win games in this league.
Because I'm happy.
Clap along if you feel. But yes,
uh,
I agree with you.
The other thing, JP, I Yakri touched on with Henry, so I don't need to go on there. But yeah, McCaffrey looks great, man. I'm really expecting a big week from Brian Thomas this week. I love him. I think he still got it. But yeah.
Already a tight loss for JP. We transition over to another relatively close game, guys. Cam Boyer taking on Brady. I'll start us off here in this matchup. Boyer, the guys that I'm noting, Matt Stafford showed up and showed out. A big game for him out of his super flex spot as QB2 when he needed it the most. And I think you can make that argument that in the overseas game, that long DK Metcalf touchdown won Cam Boyer this week. I think you could. I mean, obviously, other things lead into you winning. It's not just one thing, but obviously, without that big, long DK Metcalf touchdown, he doesn't win. So that's huge as well. And Jalen Waddle back to old form. I can't do Miami Dolphin receivers. Obviously, Tyreek Hill's now for the season, but even in a redraft form in fantasy, they're too hard to predict. I'm lucky that Devon Achane is somewhat consistent on that offense every week because I might be biased, but I think that's the only Miami Dolphin without having guidelines like ours where you have 10 start and you have a lot of spots to fill. I think if you're truly trying to be picky, the only guy you can trust consistently on the Miami offense every week is Devon Achane. And it's tough sledding if you're a Jalen Waddle owner because he's so talented. You don't want to give up on him, but at the same time, that is a tough situation for him. And for Brady, man, 133 points. We've been talking about it. He's showing glimpses that he could put something together here, not just for the short-term future, but this season included. Dak and Hampton. How about that? That Green Bay Dallas game on Sunday night truly was something else. I hate that it ended in a tie. I have a whole. I could go on for days on how football should never be a sport that ends in a tie. Tying's for soccer, not for football.
They gotta change that, man. They gotta change it.
And yeah, Hampton, doing his own thing, and that was a fun game overall. Good to see him after a rough week or a rough couple of weeks bounce back into form. There's plenty of promising things for Bray to take away. He just keeps building, brick by brick, week by week, and obviously you want to see more out of your receivers. But he was one of our expansion teams last year, so it's going to take some time to build this thing up the way he properly wants to. But a lot of positive takeaways. We're for 130 points for a team like Brady's, you're never going to complain. So JP, I don't know what you have to add on top of that.
Yeah, was singing Brady's praise for a long time, and if he had Fields and ETN, he'd be 4-0, and he'd be looking like a team that's like actually ready to make noise here. He'd be the 2 seed through 4 weeks.
Crazy.
It's nuts to think about, but that's the kind of team he's got. I mean, you bench Singletary and you bench Darnold, and that's an addition of 30 points right there. He'd have been the second leading scorer this week. So it's just crazy to think about these kinds of moves. Not that it was a bad trade. I mean, it was an absolute fleece, whether benefits both teams or not. In the long run, it'll certainly benefit Brady because Fields will never start another football game unless it's due to injury after this contract's up in New York. But yeah, like you mentioned, that deep ball to DK. I mean, that absolutely won the week for Boyer. Great week for Brady, though. Love to see Hampton get going. I mean, in 17 total touches, 160 total yards. That's exciting stuff. So a lot to be looking forward there. And didn't even mention Jackson Dart on the bench. Gonna keep an eye on what he's got going on over there in New York. So could be a fun season for Brady, even if he's not trying to contend. So
yeah, the only thing I'm gonna add up out of right here is for Cam Boyer, I was telling JP this last Sunday. I'm officially worried about Hawk, guys, for Cameron. He looks like just a pure blocker this year. I mean, they're not even looking like they're going to throw him the ball. If you watch the last 2 Minnesota games, they're just throwing him dump balls. Like, he'll just sit up in the middle and Wentz just throwing him dump balls. That's all he's got no long receptions this year. I mean, it's just a bunch of dump balls, and I'm genuinely concerned because that's not the Hawk we saw last year. And when me and JP were talking, he mentioned it. I mean, I don't know if he's not recovered from that back injury or what happened. I don't know. But for you got anything to add to that, JP or Diak or?
I got nothing now.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks slow. He doesn't look crisp.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. But then for Brady, he's got some upside here. I mean, with Tyreek getting hurt, I mean, nobody obviously loves people getting hurt, but Malik Washington's now the receiver too in Miami. So he could be a good trade piece at the deadline for him if he does somewhat good. But yeah, I don't got really anything else. that DK set the tone for this matchup here this week.
All right, Boyer moves to 3-1. And guys, Matt Hendricks has himself a victory here this season. Drew, I'll let you start here. Matt getting 139 on Dade, who drops to 2-2.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, Matt, that you only won by about 25 points. Yeah, that's what it is. To date here, and his team had an off week. I mean, if Hubbard has anything close to what he's been averaging this year, and Scattaboo, how he played last week, I mean, Dade could win this week, boys. I mean, Matt, your QB play is very concerning. I mean, Bryce Young looks like he can only play at home. He looked awful again on the road. I mean, atrocious. Looked awful. And then Gino, we saw him playing us Bears this weekend. He had 3 picks. I mean, you ain't gonna have a good fantasy stat line if you throw 3 picks in the game. Granted, he got lucky, he threw that pass to Genty, which helped me. But I mean, his QB play is it's just not it. And then if we scroll down, I'm genuinely concerned about his receivers. I mean, Jamar Chase is going up against Detroit this week, as we'll talk later in our previews for next week. I don't think he's gonna get over 10 points this week. I mean, Jake Browning, like I said earlier, is god awful. He's awful. So I don't know what Matt's plan exactly is. Obviously, he made a big trade that happened today, I believe, with Devontae Adams. If we want to show that real quick, I believe it was a first and third for Devontae Adams, right? Does that sound right?
Can't
I know
remember. I thought
first
it was
was involved.
a first and a third for Adams and a fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I don't know because if McLaurin doesn't play this week, I don't know who he's gonna play at receiver. Not that it's gonna matter, but I'm genuinely concerned of who he's gonna play this week if Terry doesn't play. But other than that, I also think Nick Chubb is dead. Uh, I
I
don't
think he's
know.
Reason
playing
why
Mason Taylor in the flex.
Oh, okay, does
Yeah.
he have any other receivers on his bench since he traded Tay?
Hunter Renfro.
Nope. Hunter Renfro. Yeah.
Yikes. But yeah, I don't know what the deal with Nick Chubb is. I don't know if they like Marks better. I don't. He just doesn't look like
Chubb's
he.
just old, man. He's
Yeah,
old.
I agree. I mean, he just doesn't. I
His
don't know.
his yards per carry's been all right though. So I don't know.
Could we
I mean,
see like genuinely?
47 divided by 13 is what? 3.6. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But the
No.
other 3 weeks he was averaging 4.6. So
Yeah, do you think we could see him as a trade target for other teams around the
No.
league?
I
I
Not
don't
don't.
think
for
I don't
not for fantasy, just around.
no, I don't think anyone wants the corpse of Nick Chubb.
Okay.
I
I was
could be
just
wrong. But
I still have faith in Nick Chubb. I just don't think anyone's gonna trade for him.
yeah, I didn't know since he's on
If
that one
anything,
game.
he'll get cut and signed somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I didn't
that's
know.
the more likely option. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. But for Date's side, real quick, Worthy, great week. Happy to have him back for his team. Uh, it's looking like Cole Kmet's going to be the tight end. I mean, if you circle that real quick, he had 9 targets this week. He should have had a touchdown, which would have changed his game. He dropped that wide open pass. Us Bears fans know I was screaming. Uh, but yeah, good performance by Dade. It sucks that his running backs didn't perform well. Scat with 25 carries, which is crazy. That just shows you how much faith they have in him. And Trey Tucker's back to reality. So yeah, what do you got there, JP?
Yeah. Penix played football this week. That was nice to see after the 2 point performance he had last week. I'm still worried about Matt's team. I don't even know if wants to win anymore. I really have no idea what Matt's doing at this point in time. So
It's
it'll be
crazy.
interesting to follow along with him as we get closer and closer to the deadline. That's quickly approaching. A bad week from Hubbard. Scat played fine. If anyone watched the game, I mean, he was churning out. It's insane at the rate they were feeding him. But I get it with a rookie quarterback.
He's
So
got a
the
good
poor
motor,
guy,
man.
yeah, dude, he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, Dade, I don't think you're gonna beat anyone unless it's one of those bad teams below you. So enjoy the ride and thanks for the picks.
Yeah, you guys have touched on most of what I said, but good week for Josh Jacobs, a
Oh,
vintage Josh
yep, sorry,
Jacobs fantasy
did not mean to
performance.
click off.
No, you're good. When he needed it the most, 31 from Jacobs is huge.
God,
And yeah, pretty much
I
everything
didn't,
else you guys hit on. What's
I
up,
didn't
Beef?
even realize that, Yak. If Jacobs has 15 points, this game's a lot closer. Holy cow! I didn't
Yeah,
even realize that. Good point out.
he needed that more than anything. But a
Yeah, he
much needed
did.
win. For Matt. Sweet. All right. The big dogs. I do want to, before I talk about my team, I want to shout out Wade, man. 100 points. Seriously. That is
Yeah.
for what he
Gainwell,
inherited and
Romeo
what he did.
Dobbs, dude.
Yeah. And you look at what Kenneth Gainwell did as well. I woke up and I saw that. Not that I was concerned, but I was more or less just surprised. I don't think Kenneth Gainwell's ever had a 30-point fantasy game in his life.
I
He probably
highly
even
doubt it.
hasn't had a 25-point
No.
game. So good for him in that regard. Good for Wade for hitting the 100-point. But on my end, if we scroll down, made the big trade with Matt earlier in the week, getting Trevor Lawrence and Alvin Kamara along with Nick Mullins, the handcuff for Lawrence in exchange for my 2026 first and a couple of second round picks. Listen, we're all in. Let's go do it now. That's my philosophy. I'm okay. I was really happy that I got to keep my future first. That I'm hoping this year's first is a later pick, and like we will talk about later, second round picks in the world of dynasty, especially in a 14-man league, are truly a crapshoot if they're not in the top 4 or 5 picks of that second round. So I'm feeling good about that trade, just getting depth, getting guys that I can trust. I had no running backs outside of Brees and A-Chain. So just getting any guy back who could show up and put together some numbers was exciting for me. Puka Nacua is him. He really is, man. And I was hanging out with Frank today, and he brought up what a pickup that was out of the undrafted free agent pool following our first ever rookie draft in 2023. And I'll never forget, it was about 10 minutes after the waiver period opened up. I had something going on, so I couldn't jump on it right away. And I remember Frank picked up Charlie Jones. That's who I really wanted. So I was sitting there and I said, you know what? Nacua, he was good at BYU. He could have a chance to crack through in the Rams offense. I'll take a shot on him. Everyone else is kind of giving him a look, but nobody's picked him up. I'll take a shot on him. And he's turned out to be the best player I've owned in this league, really. And it's been cool to see what he's been able to do. And I believe it was that same summer where I then traded Cooper Kupp later on. Was that to you, JP, or did I? No, Boyer. It was
Boyer.
Boyer that I traded him to. So, yeah, it's crazy what he's been able to do, man. He's just so consistent. And speaking of consistent, Jake Ferguson and Matt Egbuka continue to give those guys a round of applause. They've been great. Good running back play on Monday Night Football, and what was a really bad football game to watch. Dolphins and Jets are both terrible, terrible teams, but A-Chain and Hall doing their jobs. Never going to complain about that. And I'm worried about Devonta Smith, man. 2 targets, that's just not going to cut it. So we'll have to
Yeah.
reevaluate that moving forward. But as I'll talk about in the previews, I can't not play the guy. He's as talented as it gets, and it's a tough spot to be in. But I feel good about the state of my team. We're the number 1 scoring team in this league. It's a shame we're 2-2, but the only way we can go is up. And following this week with Ty, I have a 3-week stretch of Brady, Dade, and I'm not taking Brady lightly, but Brady, Dade, and Wade again. So feeling good about the state where we're at right now, and just putting up 160, second highest score in the league, and as we mentioned, fantasy scoring's been down, so I'll take a 160-point week any day.
Yeah, and I'm going to feed off that. As you just mentioned, the fantasy scoring being down. As we've been moving along here, I totaled up the 9 teams that we believe are potential playoff teams. And the average, or not that, well, I eventually I equated the average. Anyways, between the 9 of us, all our totals added up 5,207.6 points is what we total at, divided by 36, which is the amount of games played. 144.64 is the average between those 9 teams.
Sounds about right.
And so then I'm sure if I sat there, and I took out the highest and the lowest, we'd probably be sitting a little lower than that, would be my guess. Would be probably be about 136, 137 would be my guess. So anyways, somewhere, if you're scoring 145 points, you should be looking at a win here. So 160 will certainly get to do the trick in that case. From the actual matchup standpoint, yeah, like you said, shout out Kenneth Gainwell, shout out Dobbs for Wade. And then the one note I had for you was that Jake Ferguson, it's absolutely just insane what's happening over there in Dallas. Like everyone knew he was Dak's favorite. People were kind of low on him last year when Dak got hurt, and then there was this weird pickup of momentum on Ferguson as we got closer and closer to the season. I know you mentioned it last week that people were reaching out about Ferguson, and you saw it through, and boy, has it paid off. But it's just crazy that he might. There's got to be. I know Trey McBride led the league in receptions last year. I think we might see two tight ends 2 years in a row do it because
Yeah.
I haven't checked. I don't know if it's true, but just based off us doing the show, I'd fairly be confident Ferguson is leading the league in receptions. So
Dude, he's getting 20 points a week and it looks effortless. They're just
it's
dump offs. Like it's not
insane.
like
It's
he's doing
insane.
anything crazy.
No, it's insane.
It's actually fun. And you know what's crazy is I think that who does Dallas play this week? They play, it could be a shootout who they play again. I don't remember who they play. Oh,
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I got it. Let me get 2 seconds. So you continue your thoughts on this matchup, Beef, if you have
I was just gonna
The
say,
Jets.
Jets.
Jets. So I mean, it could be. So, anyways, I just want to touch base. Brees Hall, yeah, I gotta be happy about him at 100 yards. I think, right? He looked great. Especially with Braylon Allen now being out, I think he's gonna be a
81, but
workout.
yeah, still a good
81.
week.
He's gonna be a workhorse back there. Uh, yeah, I mean Romeo Dobbs looked great for Wade. I was playing Lil Susie all night. Uh, so it was pretty good. That's a little throwback story we'll get to later. But yeah, don't really got anything else for that.
All righty, JP, I'll let you take the reins here. Start off with Frank beating Jack by nearly 100 points and 155 for SEAL Team Knicks as Frank improves to 3-1.
Yep, one of my favorite segments to talk about, favorite things to talk about on this show is handing out violations, infractions for our Frankie Tamillo Tank Prevention Act, in which Bauer, for the second consecutive year, is the first one to be pinned with a violation. As you can see right there, I don't even need to highlight it front and center on the screens. Zamir White did not play. It was a healthy and active, was announced out 3 hours before the game, and Jack still had someone rostered, Chris Brooks, who was able to fill that role. Obviously, we know that it would not make a difference in this matchup, but we are pretty loose on how we treat tanking, so we need to find some integrity because of Frankie Tamillo, who he played against in this match. Big shout out to Frank for losing neighbors as well very early and then still putting up 155 points. That's very impressive to see. This will be a big test for Frank moving forward. Without neighbors, we'll see if it'll persist or not. And then you love to see it. I know Stroud played Tennessee, but boy did he look so much better. And Nix, I know he played Cincinnati, but boy did he look so much better. So it'll be fun to see if Frank's team can keep it up moving forward.
42 attempts. Good Lord. That's something. Real quick, I'm gonna hop in here. Jack's gotta be happy. I mean, Drake May looks great, guys. He looks pretty
Does look good.
darn good. So, neighbors, that's a big loss for you, Frank. I just want to touch base with both of you. I know Pacheco's on Frank's bench. What do you guys think's up with him? I know he scored this week, but the yards aren't there. Do you
Chiefs
think they're
offense is just weird in fantasy and in general.
Yeah.
It's who they like to get the ball to. There's always a lot of options at each position. I know Kareem Hunt's back there as well in the running back department. So I just think it's a scheme thing right now. That's what I would chalk it up to.
No, I agree. I just didn't know if you guys had any other inside news that I didn't know about. So, but no, I don't got anything else. I will say I didn't have this on my sheet, but I'm looking at it right now. Antonio Gibson is not. I don't know how to describe this, but I do not like that guy at all. Do not like him. I don't know what the deal is. I don't even know how he's rostered on a team right now. That's all I gotta say. That New England offense is just so weird. I don't even want to get into it, but.
All right, JP, what do you got? Oh, never mind. You already went. Wow.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
showing-
covered what I need to cover.
That's showing my fatigue in my own right. I do have notes on this matchup. That is a bad look for me. Wow. Yeah, pretty much we all touched it on it to a certain extent. A good week for Drake London. This is a good case for Frank of everyone showing up doing their job. And for Jack, same old Drake May, and then there's everybody else. So you guys did a good job touching on everything there. And we have two more matchups to hit this week. Hunley's Hicks against Cam Crook and Golden Shower. Drew, I'll let you start here. Luke is our highest scorer this week, 182 points as he improves to a perfect 4-0.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Uh, Justin Fields still sucks at football. He's just a fantasy merchant. he looks awful out there. It's just I don't even know how to persuade it. But another note I had is Chig's back to his irrelevant self. 2 points with one catch. That guy is awful. I'm hoping Gunnar Helm gets to start here soon or gets more production because he is better than Chig. I can't lie, boys. Pickens looks great. That catch he made in the end zone was fabulous when he had two defenders on him. I think that was before halftime or right before halftime. If you guys when he had the little toe touch,
Yeah.
Don't remember.
right, right. I don't know how he caught it. Like it was insane. Like he had two defenders on him and he like basically brought the ball down. But Tyler Warren, great performance for Crook. Matthew Golden had looked a little better. I gotta say though, for Crook, he's got to be a little happy. He's got two starting quarterbacks now, so I don't know how that works for tanking rules now. If he has to start him, I don't know how that works.
That's
But
right.
yeah,
Dylan Gabriel's going to get the nod this week.
Dylan Gabriel is gonna
Yep.
get the nod this week, so I don't. Does he have to start both quarterback shape? I don't know what we changed that to or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to start his highest flex play. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
righty.
Okay. Then I'll hop in real quick. Big weeks for Pickens, Goddard, and Fields, as well as the guys we expect to have big weeks. I'm not sure Pickens will have 33 again. I'm not sure Goddard will have 22 again. That stat line's really not that good. And then Fields is so volatile. I mean, one week he goes for 12 and looks terrible, and then he breaks off a 43-yard rushing touchdown on 4th and 1 to keep the game alive and ends up with 27 points. Yeah, and then just going off what Drew said, bad weeks for Burden, and then Warren and Golden finally getting involved, more so on Golden. Things you like to see for Crook.
Yeah, I'll just quickly toss in. Crook's bench actually was really good this week. If you look at what he did with the guys who didn't play for him, he had a solid bench week. And for Luke, I truly do think I know he won't boom like this every week, but George Pickens in Dallas, truly a match made in heaven. I think that is such a good fit offensively for him. And obviously, we didn't know it at the time of the trade, but we didn't know with the character issues that he's had in Pittsburgh how that would be taken in Dallas. And man, it's been a really good fit for both sides. So, and as we look now, Luke's the only undefeated team left in this league. And shout out Kruk for dropping over 90. That'll conclude our recaps for week 4. We now get Ty McCain on the show, this Beavin podcast. We're now on to the guest portion of our show here. Tyson, Ty McCain joining us here for the newest edition, the Just Beavin podcast here, our second season of the pod, 4th season of the league. Ty, we're going to recap your week 4 matchup, preview your week 5 matchup. You played one of the panel members in week 4, and you're going to play one of us in week 5. First of all, my friend, how are you? It's been a minute. And second of all, just thoughts on your squad so far this year before we look into your matchups here.
Oh, doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a surprisingly good year. I should be 4-0, but I mismanaged this past matchup with old Beaver over there. He's celebrating, but that wasn't a win that he won. I lost that one. Genty did go off, but yeah, should be 4-0. Real proud of the team.
Yeah, no, it's been for you, especially when we drafted our divisions. Definitely a big swing since the spring of the outlook of your team then and the outlook of your team now, and where everything is going for you here in our season. Fellas, do we have anything to add? Any questions to ask Ty before we get into his matchup?
Can't wait to dig into Debo.
I can't either. I can't wait to dig into Kyle Pitts. He's back. He's arrived.
Debo has been the age-old topic in the group chat this season, a guy that very polarizing figure in Beaverfest and across all of fantasy football. So you see the final score, the week 4 matchup, Drew beating Ty by just about 20.
Brother.
We normally let the winners go first, but Ty, you're our guest. So the floor is yours to unpack your first loss of the season.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, really, the story here is if you just go to my bench, there's one guy who has been consistent all year. I got haters in my ear every single week talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Debo Samuel. And there he is, 72 yards and a touchdown, 6 for 6. So I woke up and I had him starting instead of Godwin. And I made the decision that just with Mariota, I thought, okay, either Debo or Ertz is gonna, hoop this week. And so then I was like, you know what, Godwin's coming back, kind of like the matchup. So I made the last minute switch, and that is why I'm sitting here at 3-1. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I completely support that decision. Debo caught a late touchdown, which obviously bolstered.
of course, but that's perfect Debo. Like that's
That's
just
been
every
Debo all
week.
year. Every week
It's
I've been
like,
on here saying at the end of the game, Debo caught a touchdown. And I mean, can you really be mad that Godwin? I mean, granted he had 2 or 3 drops, but 10 targets is insane numbers. I think him and Igbuka both apiece had 10 targets, which I think Mayfield threw 30 passes, so that's pretty damn good.
and that's very, especially him coming off the injury, like first game, 10 targets.
Oh
Like here we
my, wow,
go.
he threw 40 passes. My God, do they ever
They
run the ball?
they were down most of the game and
Yeah,
down by
they
multiple
were chasing
scores.
24 or whatever. I got an early payout. I got started to get nervous when they were going to lose though.
Yeah, no, that
Mhm.
was, and I think my biggest thing with Utah is it's a shockingly bad week for David Montgomery.
I
Like
know, I know. He had 29
shockingly bad.
points, 2 touchdowns last week, right? And so he's a must start, and then just absolute dud. And of course, I mean Cleveland's defense is pretty good. I mean they gave up 34 points, but yeah. And then I would like to talk about Lad McConkey and kind of your thoughts on, well, the panel's thoughts on this, because he's freaking me out. I mean, if you wouldn't mind clicking on him, I mean, sure, 13 points, the first 9 targets, 6 receptions, but I mean, we're just not getting the volume. And I know he's getting open. Well, at least I think he is. I mean, he's a great route runner. It's just Keenan Allen and QJ. QJ's having a heck of a year. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. And
I
yeah, so
sorry, finish.
no, you're fine. Just I thought Ladd was going to really, top off my receiving core here, and I thought he'd be, I wouldn't have to worry about him. He'd be consistent. But no, I mean, I'm looking at Debo, and Debo's my best receiver. It's like, what are we even doing?
No, you said it right. I mean, he looks like obviously he's the receiver 3 right now. I mean, it looks like Quentin Johnson's Herbert's favorite target right now. I mean, uh, especially bring Keenan Allen back. I mean, we saw him with the Bears last year with us Bears fans. I mean, he looked dead. I mean, saw that signing this offseason. I was like, oh, he's just gonna be there. He's gonna be like that DeAndre Hopkins, what he is right now. Just gonna be like a touchdown every 4 weeks, gonna be in the end zone, fine. But no, he's playing an actual solid role, and he's showing to be that receiver too right now in that Chargers offense. He's looking good. He's looking back to his prime form.
I don't know. It's crazy though that Amon-Ra St. Brown sucks, according to one panel member, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. But yeah, no, on the Chargers thing completely. I thought Quentin Johnson, if he ever woke up, was going to open up the offense for Ladd, because then they'd be forced to play more deep zone, obviously, because Johnson's going to burn you otherwise. And it's done the complete opposite. They're just not even respecting Johnson. It's like we're waiting for them to pick up, like, okay, he's not going to drop it this year. So they got to switch coverages, and you got to hope that that's what's going to happen. But then you also got to deal with Keenan Allen now, which not to the degree that Drew mentioned. I did assume that he was going to come in and not pick up where he left off, but I don't know if you remember, but week 1 I took all his props in that Chiefs game, because I totally thought he was going to just slide in and but only get like 4, 5, 6 targets and 40, 50, 60 yards. But no, it seems to be him and Quentin Johnson's offense. Although I will say that at the end of that game when they were trying to mount that comeback, he was going to Ladd a lot. So there's obviously still that rapport to a
I
degree.
mean, just
But
look at, like, yeah, 6 targets, but 1 catch, trying to
yeah,
force him.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, they're passing the ball more.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
that makes me even more. It's like, what are we
In a
even doing here?
Harbaugh offense, that's kind of crazy.
it's insane.
Being
Right.
And
so
they're
run
they're
heavy.
throwing it. I mean, Andy, you got Herbert. They're throwing it what 30, 35 times a game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Hell, I
complaining.
think week 1 he had 47 pass attempts or something nuts like that. So
Yeah, I think the one thing, if you click on JP, if you click on Lad again, you could take this for a positive or however you want to take it, Ty. You look at the snap count is good. He's seeing over 90% of the snaps, 7 targets, 5 targets, 6 targets. Like that's there. So that's the plus, right? It's not that they're not using him. It's not that he's not getting involved. It's more he's just not executing on his opportunities. I think that's my big thing with him. So that's obviously a huge con. But Harvard is at least still looking his way, and he's staying on the field. It's just a matter of him being able to snap out of a funk. So I don't know whether you want to look at that on a positive or a negative side, but the opportunities are there. I think it's just a matter of time. I understand why you're worried. I'd be worried too, but I'd be more worried if the snap percentage wasn't there, if the targets weren't there. But at least that is still in his favor for now. I mean, I guess time will only tell for next week. That's kind of what I saw with Conkey is He's just not executing right now. I know that's such a football answer, but that's simply how it's really gone. Drew, this was a huge win for you, man. You really, really needed this. I believe 2-2 now
Yeah,
is my
2-2
record.
now.
Yeah.
Just real
Yeah.
quick, I got one more question for Ty.
Oh,
Hey Ty, is there a reason you benched Andrews this week? I just was kind of curious about that.
Well, I mean, obviously he had the boom game last week, but I mean, if yeah, you want to pull him up real quick. I mean, he before that he was pretty much non-existent. So
Oh
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
he got 2 points, 2 points. So I just thought it was a fluke, and I for whatever reason I thought that just playing Atlanta, I thought Mariota would get Ertz the ball more. So I mean, now I mean Ertz is benched, so I mean I'm gonna have to sit here and do the Andrew boom bust. We could probably have 2 points next week. That's usually how it goes. And another thing too with Ertz, like once Daniels went down, he's pretty much useless. And so I should have done this last. See, this is another thing too. So yeah, so just poor management on my end. But yeah, you can see once Daniels is gone, he just loses his target share. And so I mean, what? So I'm gonna have to wait him out till Daniels gets back. But just frustrating. But I will say a couple, and sorry, before we get over to Drew, a couple good spots. And I like to thank old Frankie Tamillo for these. Let's go up to old Patty Mahomes. He's looking great so far. He's running the ball. He's rushing for touchdowns. We'll take that.
QB3.
QB3, right? 26, 22, whatever. So he's been great. And then you got to love Amon-Ra, the sun god. And I still think Tet's a good player, and I'm okay with him in that trade. But Caleb Johnson being a dud, that really helps me out. And so just looking at that from Amon-Ra for Tet, I think right now for me, I think that was a good trade.
100%.
100%. You know, I tell people this all the time. Well, just even in our chats, I still can't get over that Frankie made that trade and he lost the trade by a mile. I mean, he took Jaden Higgins at 112.
Oh,
And
for the Mahomes trade. Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That
I
was
mean,
Cam
that.
Ward and Jaden
I think
Higgins.
that trade was even worse than the Amon-Ra trade.
I
Really.
mean, that's just bad. I mean, no offense, Ty, your tight ends. I hate talking crap about other teams, but Cam Ward looks awful. I mean, I know he
51.6 completion percentage, man.
I mean,
What do you
Oh
he
my
mean?
looks
God.
bad. And part of the problem is, yes, I will give you, it's probably Callahan's fault. He's an awful coach. But I mean, that whole offense just looks lost. I mean, I don't even know what. I mean, that pick he had in week 3, I forgot who you guys were playing.
The Colts.
Oh, the
The
pick
Colts.
six right at the beginning.
Yes, I
Yeah,
mean
that
that
was
was
one of the worst
awful.
things I've
That
ever
was
seen.
awful. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I mean he's not looking great, and I won't harp on it too much, but I mean when you look at him compared to, and it's easy to give him all the excuses, like our team sucks, like Callahan's probably going to get fired, like there's not a receiving core, but then you look at like Jaden Daniels last year and what he was able to do with not that great of a scheme around. Well, the scheme is okay, but just the team around him was not that good. He was really playing well, so yeah, it's just frustrating to see him not at least showing hope. Yeah, 50% complete percentage. What are you going to do with that?
Hey, you haven't even mentioned it yet. Judkins. I mean,
Oh yeah,
come
sorry.
on.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, I had some notes for
Yeah,
this game. Yeah, let's talk about Judkins.
let's talk about him.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks, Cam. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, Judkins past 2 years or past 2 weeks has been phenomenal. I mean, come on. They're
Really
giving him
good.
the carries. Now they're getting him out of the backfield catches, and he scored 2 weeks in a row. I mean, yeah, look at 18 carries, 94 yards, 21 carries, 82 yards.
4.6
Scored
yards per
2 weeks
carry
ago.
over the last 2 weeks too.
the
And he's
fact,
only really played for those 2 games.
yeah, the
I mean,
fact
this guy didn't even get in training camp. I mean, what are you talking
exactly.
about?
And the
Two
fact
two
that
good, two solid defenses too with the Lions and Packers.
he
Hmm.
had 10 points and was only on the field for 27% of the snaps is actually crazy in week 2. I mean, that just tells you that he's going to be a good player. And we all said that. I mean,
Hmm. Yeah, no, I just didn't think it would come this quick. And so that
I
was a
didn't
breath
either.
of fresh air because now
yeah.
I can
Yeah.
bring him up. And so, yeah, no, the team, I'm happy with the team right now. Would love to be 4-0, but of course. And so I'll leave it to you, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I'll hit base on my team. I've told everybody this. Thank you, Wade Worthington, for giving me Kyle Pitts for Najee Harris. I appreciate that. I think he's arrived, boys. I mean, he looks great this year. I mean, his route running is just amazing. I just think he looks great. I mean, Penix said in the offseason, him and Penix were doing one-on-one training every day, and it's looking like it's paying off. I mean, he's at a steady 10 plus points every week. I know he had week 2 and 3, he had 10 points, but I mean, week 1 and week 4, he had 18 and 21. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy about this. And, my recent trade, I traded a second for Travis Kelce, as you guys see now, 13 points. He's getting the receptions. He's just having trouble finding the end zone, which I think's gonna come eventually. But I want to hit on this real quick. I'm really concerned about Jalen Hurts. I mean, that offense just looks terrible. I mean, if you take away those little two pitch touchdowns he has, I mean, he has 8 points. I mean,
You
AJ
know,
Brown.
they're not using the tush push anymore.
No, they're not. And like,
Because
so
it's false start every time.
it's funny that you said that because I thought it was hilarious when they ran that fake one with Saquon. It was hilarious.
I've been waiting for them to pull something like that for a really long time. I'm shocked that's
been-
the first
yeah.
time they did it.
3 years of this, 4 years, and that's
Yeah.
the first time they ran something like that. They've like faked it and done a handoff with it, but never like to that degree.
So, and then my next interesting point is going to be that Ben Johnson just came out and said that DeAndre Swift's not the problem with the running game, which I find that hard to believe, but we'll see.
I think
if
we
he's
can.
right.
I think we can all vouch against that after watching Manungai on that last
Yes.
scoring drive take us three times, take 8 yards, 9 yards, and 6 yards. So
Yeah.
But if we scroll up, I mean, Caleb had a little rough week. Henderson finally found the end zone. I'm over the Patriots offense, man. I don't get it. I don't understand how Antonio Gibson is getting goal line carries. I don't understand that at all. Like, I don't understand what Vrabel is doing over there. I don't know, man. But talk about the ghosts in the room. Calvin Ridley, we kind of touched base on earlier. I mean, he just looks awful. It's like he's just running wind sprints out there and just like, hey, Cam Ward, just throw me the ball if you want. I don't care.
Drew, that might be, I said this before. You and I making that swap of Darnell Mooney for Calvin Ridley might be the most pointless trade we've ever had.
It was funny too because the reaction and fallout from that, even leading up to the season,
We were all
was-
together when we did that.
No, I
I
know,
wouldn't
but I'm
admit that
saying
trade.
like weeks after and all that, the discourse about that was like, how does Andy give up a wide receiver one for Darnell Mooney? And
Yes.
Calvin Ridley like looks horrible.
He looks bad, but
Alex season. I've tried to tell you, Drew. You've been
Yeah.
telling me for weeks
No,
that Ridley's
I
worth
agree.
more. Alex,
I
he's
agree
receiver.
now. But I will say this real quick and then we can move on. But Genty had 33 points this week. Glad to see that. But once again, am I sold on Genty yet? No. Am I happy that he had 33 points this week? Absolutely. He just went against my Bears
rough stretch of
defense.
games coming up.
Exactly. He just
Yeah.
went against the worst rush defense in the league. And he had 33 points. So that's good to see. Okay, that's really good to see that he's
That's better than him laying an egg against a bad rush defense. I mean, you want to see him
Exactly.
perform like
exactly. But we said this, I think, last week on the pod. I don't remember. I mean, this Raiders team, that offensive line is awful. I mean, Geno looks, just like Jets Geno. Like, he looks bad. 3 interceptions this week. I mean, it was just.
that. And two of them were on the same play. On the
Exactly.
exact same route.
So
Yeah, they're dysfunctional over there. Was a good
Yeah.
win for you, Drew. Good to see Genty get going, although I don't think it'll persist. Nico Collins, I'm not sure if that I didn't watch that game at all, Ty. That your team's unwatchable in
No, they are.
disrespect.
Yeah. No, I turned it off. It was that bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Ty. That really is. Yeah.
I know. All I wanted this
it's
year.
just the defeat in your voice.
Dude, because I went through this last year, and it was
Yeah.
just the worst thing you've ever seen. Because we just found new ways to lose last year, and I mean, of course, week 1 we were there with the pick 6. So I mean, yeah, Will Levis terrible. So, but it's like there's no improvement, and there's no life, and yeah, I will say Jeff Simmons, we need to trade him. Let me tell you what.
Get him
he's
for
having a
everything
hell
you
of a
can get
start.
out of him.
I know. I mean, I take that to a contender right now. Oh my God, he's been dominant. But he's the only one on the team to give shit. So it's just.
Did you see, Ty, that Will Levis actually has better stats than Cam Ward after his first 4 games?
No, I did not.
Which
Well,
is
okay. Well,
actually
Levis
crazy.
had that one. Levis had the 4 touchdown game against the Falcons. So you take
Against
that
the
away.
Falcons,
That's
Probably
yeah.
inflates that.
Who was
Right.
calling those plays? Was that still Todd Downing?
No. Oh wait, when? Whenever he had the 4 touchdown
Levis's
game.
first year, yeah.
Oh,
Would that have been Vrabel's last year?
It
yes.
would have,
Yeah, that because it was because that was his rookie year, and they brought him in later in the season. Yeah, it might have been Todd Downing.
Todd Downing, yeah. Well, he's a hell of a better play caller, which I can't even believe I'm saying because Todd Downing was terrible. He's much better than Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan's
Yeah.
a genuine.
And
How
he
much
gave it up
longer do
last
you
week,
give
and he
Callahan?
goes.
Do you think he makes
Okay,
it through the
so-
season or no?
No,
One
so in I believe 2 or 3 weeks we play the Patriots. Patriots are going to embarrass us at home, and Vrabel's going to beat us, and that's when we fire him. If not before, that is the final straw because we'll be.
I mean, if you guys
0-7.
get shut out 2 weeks in a row,
I
can't
yeah,
imagine
I
he
agree
sticks
with that.
around, right?
Oh no way! No, I mean they were calling
that's
for
hard
his
to
head 2
do in
weeks
the
ago.
NFL, no matter how bad your team is, and no matter who you play against.
One more one more thing for Ty before we leave, just because Titans, I need to know this for my team's sake. Do you think Calvin Ridley gets traded at the deadline, just for like a 6th round pick, like something?
Yeah, and I agree with that, as in just for like a cap dump, because we're not going to get anything for him, right? So maybe at the beginning of the year, maybe I don't know, we get a second for Lucky. Yeah, now he's got the drops. He's just not producing at all. I still think he'd be a great wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on a team, but I mean, like what we have him doing right now, he's just not that guy. But yeah, he might get traded just for fantasy value, something that I wouldn't hold my hat on that, but just depth for the bench.
No, that's what I was wondering. So I didn't know if I was seeing if you heard anything on that or not. So, but I'm
No,
glad.
no, I haven't seen anything yet, but we need to trade Jeff Simmons.
Okay, yeah, but
Drew's always trying to get the inside scoop.
that's
So Ty,
right.
you're 3-1 now. We'll look to your week 5 matchup, and you get the honor of facing off against the big dogs in this week's matchup. And similar to let you recap your week 4 matchup because you're our guest, I will also let you take the floor first in previewing your matchup against myself.
Well, thank you. And yeah, no, this is a big one. This is a real big one for us. So I'm just going to set the stage for how this is going to work out. Puka is getting hurt in this game.
Oh,
This is how I win.
Whoa.
This is how I win. Puka is getting hurt in this game because I just traded for Devontae Adams, and then he is going to get all the target share. He's going to have 2 touchdowns. I believe that is probably the only way I win. And I'm going to pick myself here. I broke down the matchups just very briefly. So I do like Mahomes matchup. Who are they playing?
They're playing the
They're playing the
Jaguars.
Jacksonville yeah.
on
Yeah,
Monday
I like
night.
Mahomes matchup. I hate Dobbins and Judkins matchup. Amon-Ra, he might have a 40-point bomb. Devontae's, I like his matchup. Debo's gonna Debo. He's gonna get a last second little touchdown. I actually do like Andrew's matchup, and then we'll see about Monty if he decides he wants to play against a terrible team or not. I don't know. This could be one of those games to where he just gets a ton of carries. He's killing it. And then I also like Baker's matchup. But on your side, I like Herbert. I love A-Chain's matchup, love Brees's matchup. And then I like Puka, but I'm hoping
The
he
injury.
right, yeah, of course.
You're
The injury.
actively cheering for an injury for an. I
I
just
am.
want to
I
put
am for
that
Puka
out there.
Nacua. Yeah, I need this win. Yeah, because if not, I'm going to drop 2 in a row, and it's gonna start to get rough. And then I hate Devontae Smith's matchup. I like Ibuka's. I like Ferg's. And I'm kind of neutral on the Jags players. So yeah, I think it's really going to come down to that. I don't know. What do you think?
Dude, yeah, I mean, obviously we talked a bit about it when we recapped the other matchups. I obviously made the big trade with Matt this past week, getting Lawrence, getting Kamara, really pushing some chips to the middle, trying to compete with everyone else, man. And I know it's projected that I win by 20, but I think that's too big of a spread. I think this is going to be a little bit closer than that. I don't know if I can hit 160, and I think you're very capable of going north of 140. So I always pick myself, so I just throw that out there. That's how I do things here. But I mean, you said it, man. You have a lot of matchups that I really like. I like, Kansas City going against Jacksonville, and then on the flip side, I don't know what to expect from Trevor Lawrence and Brenton Strange going against KC. I benched Strange the last 2 weeks, and he's played really well. I'm not going to let him burn me again, and I just don't trust. I trust him more than I trust Keenan Allen and Hollywood Brown right now. And it's hard for me not to play Jake Ferguson. That dude's been unreal this year, even though
Mm-hmm.
Dallas hasn't been much. He just is casually putting up the quietest 25-point games you'll ever see. So, yeah, and Devonta Smith makes me mad because I don't know what to think of that. But it's also like it's Devonta Smith. I can't not play him until
Right,
he
he gets
puts
a
up a
20-point
true.
game, and it's
Yeah,
like,
until he puts up a true man. This guy just didn't perform. The first couple weeks wasn't his fault. He wasn't getting the football. It's just that's how Philly's offense was running. So, no, I agree with you, man. I think this will be a lot tighter than the projection show. I'm going to go with myself and just hoping the guys who've continued to play well can do so. And I'm not going to cheer for an injury on your side because I don't think cheering for an injury is good in sports. So I'm not going to do that. I hope I beat you fair and square with all
that's
my
fair.
guys
And
healthy
you
and
know
all your
what? If
guys
I
healthy.
win without a Puka injury, that'd be phenomenal. I just see that's my only path to victory here. I think that's the only way this works. That or Amon-Ra has 40 points. That's it. I think other than
Yeah.
that, I don't know if my guys are going to overperform enough, especially the running backs. I think this is just kind of both Philly and
Time out.
Minnesota.
Are the Vikings playing in London or something?
Yes,
Why is
they're playing in London again,
Yeah,
back-to-back games.
they're out of the country
They
again.
they signed like a contract last
that's
year.
brutal?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just I think they just
The
stayed
Jags
over
have done
there.
that like every year they've had that.
Yeah, but
No.
Jags have ownership. I heard like in London or something. That's why they do it or something. That's why they're
Oh,
trying to be
Saad
the
Khan?
yeah they're trying to have the first team overseas to be Jacksonville because they have ownership in some shit like that. I don't know. It's something like that. That's why they play always. That's why they play 2 games back-to-back years in London.
Well,
But
I don't think they've ever done the back-to-back. I think they've played multiple games in London. I don't think this is got to be the first time they've ever played 2 weeks
I
in a row
swear
down
I'm
there.
with Yak. I thought Jackson played
I think
back-to-back
Jacksonville's
last
had back-to-back before in Europe. Either
because
way, it's stupid. It's
because
dumb.
they
It's
had that
dumb.
Toy Story game last year, and then they played the week after that.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Drew. Jacksonville
But
had back-to-back in Europe last year.
and then I think isn't KC and Jacksonville in like Germany or something this week?
No, it's just Monday Night Football.
It's Monday Night Football.
It's at like it's like a regular site. I swear I saw it's out overseas too.
No, it's just the Minnesota game this week. But yeah,
Okay.
that's all I got on my end. Obviously, I'm taking myself, but no, and I also wanted to know I'm not taking this matchup lightly by any stretch. Fellas, JP, Drew, your thoughts?
Real quick, Yak. Jake Browning sucks. That guy's the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Just because
Hence why I'm not playing him.
I just want to throw some shade at him since you roster him. He is so bad. He lost me a lot of money last week
He is
or
horrible.
last night. I mean,
Yeah.
The
You
line's
bet
just
on
as
him?
bad.
we're just not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to this matchup. Ty. 2 things with this matchup. You got a little tough spot here. Are you gonna start Dobbins or Harvey? Because we saw Harvey was in the mix this week.
Oh, don't get me
Oh my
started with this.
God, here
Come
we
on.
go.
Dobbins had 100 yards. All right,
I
Harvey gets
know
a
he
garbage
did,
time
but
touchdown.
Harvey,
It changes it.
I know, but we talked about the garbage time touchdowns of Debo. So,
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But
so
I mean, Dobbins he was the first in what 39 games to get 100 yards for Denver. So I mean, you can't not start that. I mean,
no, I 100% agree. I'm just saying it's nice for you to see him getting some action a little bit in that backfield. So,
I do agree. I do agree. I mean, if
uh,
this, I don't think it'll turn into it. But if this turns into like the Lions backfield, I mean, this would be phenomenal. Now, I don't know
oh
if I
yeah,
want to roster both of them when that happens, but it would at
100%.
least up the value for Harvey.
I will say this. St. Brown should have at least 30 plus against you, Yak. Unfortunately, I mean that Bengals defense is awful. I'm
Gotcha.
looking.
Depends how quick they blow them out.
I agree. And then that Minnesota run D has been absolutely atrocious as well. So I expect Judkins to have another big game on the ground. Mahomes, he's gonna throw for a bunch of yards. But back to you, Yak. I love your running back matchups this week. I mean, A-Chain and Hall are going
Hmm.
to feast against those defenses. 2 poorly defenses, Carolina and Dallas.
And Allen has an MCL sprain, so Hall's going to get even more.
Yes.
So yeah,
What
I
about
really
the
like
GOAT
Hall this week.
Isaiah Davis?
Hey, scroll down. I got him rostered the taxi squad. Don't you worry.
Do you really? I can't see taxis from here, but
Oh,
I'll take
darn
your
it. But
word
yeah,
for it.
yeah, he's been sitting in there for a solid 2 years now. He's probably going to die there. But
Real quick before I make this decision, Ty, are you? Is this your final roster? Like final lineup?
real quick, just go to my bench and to my flex. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm going to start Godwin until he starts catching those passes. I mean, the 10 targets was really nice to see, and the Seattle that could be fun. But I was in between Monty and him. And I'm just hoping that since he's so bad to where they just actually give some carries to Monty and he'll just get 8 yards a
Oh,
carry and maybe squeeze in for a touchdown. I don't know.
I agree. I just didn't know if you're gonna start him over Addison since they're playing against Cleveland. 'Cause that defense has looked really good. So
Yeah, actually, that'll be game time decision. I think about it. Of course, I do that, and then Addison will have like a
I
stupid
don't want to.
100
I don't
yard.
want to get you on your feet, but anyways, I'm taking the Typhoons here. I'm taking the
Oh, there we go.
taking the Typhoons.
Yeah, I will precurse this by saying I'm also taking Ty to win. The one that's really moving the needle for me is Mark Andrews playing with Cooper Rush. I think has the potential to match what Ferg is going to do with Dak and all those checkdowns and whatnot. I mean, we saw Ty pointed it out. Andrews, I mean, he only had 30 yards, but he had 7 catches, and with the tight end premium, that brings you to 15.75 points. And so I think that'll be enough to match. Now he gets a whole game with Cooper Rush. I think that'll be enough to match what Ferguson's going to do for Andy. And then the Seattle defense has genuinely been lights out. I mean, they've looked really good. I think it's going to be a rough rough game for Baker, which I guess would hurt Ty in this situation. But more so, obviously, he'll find the end zone. But I think Agbuka is going to struggle, and I really think they're going to put Witherspoon to follow Agbuka the whole game, and I think that's going to make things challenging for Agbuka. To echo Drew, I love Andy's running back matchups, but then I mean Judkins versus Minnesota. I mean, we could be looking at a 30 bomb waiting to happen there. The way they run the ball.
We haven't even highlighted Kamara against the Giants though, too, guys.
Oh
After
yeah,
the week Hampton just had.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that that he's not prone to go nuclear, but I mean, it's not like Kamara is a big running threat, and Rattler really hasn't been checking it down to him. And I mean, Kendre Miller just had his most carries he's ever had in a game that they were in the whole time. So I'm not saying I'm low on Kamara, but if there's time to be low on Kamara, I'm low on him right now.
That game is good.
That New Orleans backfield. So, anyways, I like a lot of Ty's matchups, and this just feels more like a Devontae Adams game than a Puka Nacua game. McVay's played against Puka too many times, or not McVay. Shanahan has played against Puka too many times, and Saleh has played against Puka too many times. I think this is a Devontae Adams game. Just a gut feeling. Give me the Typhoons to win this by double digits.
Oh boy, I did not think 3-1
Typhoons here.
All right,
love it.
All right.
I love it. Fuel to the fire, baby. I love it.
Boys, I can't even imagine that. Oh my god, that game's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
So we have. My bad. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we're gonna let Ty rapid fire. We only got a few minutes here before we can let him go. Ty, the rest of the matchups here this week going top to bottom on our screen. JP's got Luke. Will Luke go 5-0?
Well, actually, if you don't mind, I kind of want to save that one for the last and just rapid fire the other ones because this is the only game. This is the only game. Okay, yeah, give me Andy or not Andy. Give me Zip. He's gonna kick the crap out of him. Cam, same thing. I mean, they're playing tanking teams. Drew, congrats.
This is terrible.
Yeah, no, this is the worst. Yeah, I was looking at it earlier. It's terrible. Give me Drew.
This is genuinely terrible.
Right. I think it's the worst ever been.
This is horrible.
Give me Matt. Give me I'm taking myself, and then give me Frank. And then so now the one matchup that's actually going to matter because everybody else is tanking. So this is something, and I got to give Luke Hunley his props. He is the only.
I don't know why Lamar is still in my lineup. I pulled him out earlier, but.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Which, funny enough, I am gonna go with JP here, and I'll be quick. We got 3 minutes left. But
take your time, man. Take your time.
I appreciate it. But I gotta give my props to Luke Hunley, the only 4-0 team. There was 3 of us that were undefeated last year.
Tires right now.
I'm doing it now because I'm gonna shit on him in like 2 seconds. So that's all. Like, so the only 4-0 team starts Bill. We're starting Bill out here. I mean, come on. For the teams that we have, just put it line-to-line matchup. Of course, Josh Allen now with Lamar out, so he wins that one. Look at Henry against Bill. I mean, what are we doing? And so then we got McCaffrey against ETN, which ETN has looked good, but I do like McCaffrey to, he's going to probably get in the end zone with 23 points. That's what they got him for. Okay. Jefferson, we'll see. But I mean, he's going to beat Slayton. So it's like, okay.
Is he? Could Slayton turn back the clock? Slayton and Luke have
they are playing New Orleans.
They do have this weird black magic connection.
Right. If this would be the week, it would be this one. But I will say Pickens has looked better than BTJ. So I mean, I don't know. And then I just watched the Jets last night and they suck. So I mean, Pickens might probably outperform him, but you never know if BTJ can put it together. Marv, he looked good last week. They're playing the worst team in the league. So I mean, what are you going to do? He's probably going to have 2 touchdowns. But I do like Olave. He's been getting a lot of target share, and I don't know. Rattler he looks bad, but he doesn't look that bad. Goddard, Bowers. I mean, you got to take Bowers here, and then that's the other one. Bill and Tungus. He's starting Bill and Tungus, and we got Mason. So I think he definitely takes that. Diggs or Judy. It's kind of a toss up. I'd probably go Judy here, and then Fields and Murray. I think they're pretty comparable. Fields does his run thing like he did last night, then he might take that. But overall, I am going to take JP here, and I will say by double digits.
All right.
Yeah, you hear that, Luke?
It'll be a fun matchup. That's one we're looking forward to this entire week. Ty, man, we appreciate you jumping on the pod with us here on short notice earlier on this week, man. We appreciate you as always, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Ty McCain here on the Just Beavin podcast. Ty, thanks so much for coming on, being our guest here this week on the Just Beavin podcast. We still have a grand total of 6 more matches to preview for week 5 in this 2025 Beaverfest season, year 2 of the pod, year 4 of the league. And as we kind of already got to a precursor, JP with Ty, not a whole lot of exciting matchups across the league this week.
No, not at all, really. As we see, and we're going to save for last, me versus Luke is one of 2 good matchups, you and Ty being the other one. So,
How am I always like one of the 2 good matchups every week?
right? I'm waiting for my bye weeks to start kicking in
I
because
finally
this
got
is
my
getting
bye
annoying.
week.
Yeah,
So,
you should see my schedule after Ty. I think it goes Dade, Brady. I play Wade again, I think. So it's coming for us.
Those are the things you like to see.
Oh, for sure. But what's up, Drew?
No, I'm just saying that like we're all complaining that we don't have a bye week yet, but I get Wade this week as we'll get into later. But I mean, I go right into I think Cam, and I go back to Zippy, and then I go Frank, and then I get Brady. I think so. It's gonna be a gauntlet.
Yeah, we bring up Zip and Brady. That's the first matchup we're looking at here, guys. We're all going to take Zip, I assume. And I think the big thing to really note on Jake's side this week is the return of Jaden Daniels, seeing what that looks like for him after narrowly beating JP last week. And as we talked about in the recaps with Brady, Prescott, Hampton having big weeks for Mr. O'Donnell, looking to see what more Omarion can provide. JP, I'll let you go first here, but that's just a pretty brief synopsis. We all know that Zippy is likely to improve to 4-1 following this matchup.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the recap, I still hope I do indeed wish injury upon Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields simultaneously. Big anti Garrett Wilson currently. I don't want a serious injury for the guy, just a pulled hamstring, miss a couple weeks, nothing too severe. I hope he has a long, prosperous career. But yeah, good production out of Brady's young pieces. You hope to see a little bit more from Keon Coleman moving forward yet again. And as I mentioned during the recap, if Brady kept Fields and ETN, he would be sitting at 4-0 right now, which is absolutely mind-boggling. And if he had Fields and ETN right now, I think I'd be debating picking him in this matchup, as Bucky Irving is possibly going to miss this week, as I was just hit with that notification minutes before we started recording this. And Jaden Daniels may again not play. So just things to consider. But yeah, Zippy's got it on easy mode this week, so give me Zippy.
Yeah, just like you said, JP, I'm gonna touch base on Brady real quick just to give some praise. Brady's really just looking for just a Keon Coleman game. I mean, he's had 3 straight duds. Not duds, but I mean low points. I mean, he looked great in that first week, and then he just cannot get the ball in these last couple of weeks. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm really expecting a big game from Malik Washington with that Tyreek injury. He becomes a receiver too now, so we'll see if he can rise up to the top or not. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jake. And Jake, you need to get a tight end, buddy.
You don't like Luke Farrell or Farrell?
No, it's like making me sick to my stomach that he's starting him.
Well,
I don't.
good thing there's some guys in this league that got good tight end depth.
I agree. I'm one of them.
Cam Boyer, guys, on the path to 4-1 as well. Cam Crook, well on his way to 0-5. It's killer for Crook when his running back 1-2 punches Dylan Sampson and Keaton Mitchell, seeing as Keaton Mitchell is likely to be a healthy scratch for the second. Has Keaton Mitchell, can we click on him? Has he played at all this year, JP?
Not sure.
I don't know if he has.
Nope.
No, he has not. Yeah, I mean,
he's been projected at one point he was projected 6 points and he was still a healthy scratch, which was hilarious.
I feel bad. I liked him out of East Carolina. But like we keep saying, this is it for Crook. He's looking at his young guys. If we scroll down, I know Carson Wentz serving as his QB1. Ricky Pearsall has got Johnson, who'll obviously have to replace Burden in a bye week. And Tyler Warren continues to be important as well. Fryermuth in a bye week as well in the super flex. Keep in mind, we are recording this on a Tuesday, so guys are just getting ready to set their lineups for the coming week. Actually, Fryermuth in the flex, Matthew Golden in the super flex. So Crook's team, guys, already kind of down to the dumps as it is. That's his goal this year. It doesn't help that half his roster is on a bye this week. Pretty straightforward and simple. Cam Boyer.
I don't even know if he can field a real roster. Oh, he can.
Oh my God.
David Pierce and Dare Ugabungawale. Drew, what do you got here for us? Anything insightful?
I got nothing. I'm just a little disappointed for Cam's side with Dylan Sampson. I really thought him and Judkins were going to be a 1-2, and they're using Jerome Ford a lot more than I thought they were going to, which is very sad for Crook because, I mean, Sampson's really pointless now, even though he's just tanking. But I mean, for a team like his, I mean, you want to see some praise from your young guys, and he's just not seeing that from Samson. So, I mean, that sucks. But I mean, hey, Tyler Warren looks great with Danny Dimes. Besides Pittman, I mean, he's his second favorite target. He's getting those catches. So, but yeah, on Cam's side, I'm gonna take Cam. I don't really have much to say. I mean, he's gonna
Oh my
set.
gosh, this is the Thug Shake Bowl.
Yes. Oh,
It
This
is.
is the
It
Thug
is.
Shake Bowl.
It is
Drew
a
just
Thug
said
Shake
Cam.
Bowl.
it's a very anticlimactic function.
Drew just said Cam, and I was like, dude, we just talked about Cam, and then I realized that
Boyer
it's
and
Cam
Crook.
versus Cam for the Thug Shake Bowl.
Thug Shake.
Yeah, unfortunately, not going to be too much of a thriller. Anything to add, JP?
All I'm gonna add is I'm curious to see how Crucky Poo's boy is gonna do as wide receiver one, Wandale, with no neighbors. I'm curious to see how that plays out, and if Cruck ends up moving him, depending on how he performs.
Deadline is
And if I did
coming up
not make
soon.
that obvious enough, I'm taking Boyer.
I'm also
Yeah,
taking Boyer. I don't know if I
Crook,
said that.
guys, the we're at week 5 now. The deadline is approaching much sooner in the fantasy realm than one would think. Drew, this is all you, man. You got Wade this week.
I'm not really gonna touch base. If you scroll down, I'm gonna be starting Austin Hooper this week.
Nice.
So I'm
I didn't even
expecting
know
him.
you. I didn't even know he was off the. I had picked him up for a couple of weeks. It's good
Yeah,
to
I
see that
mean,
he's getting a start, man. He's worked really hard. He deserves this opportunity.
I
I'm happy
agree,
that you're
man.
able to give it to him, Drew. Is there a reason why you're starting him, or just because?
Doesn't
Yeah,
have enough players.
Oh,
you know,
it's
Trey
out of
Harris.
necessity.
it's literally I have to start him, but I saw him being pretty lonely on the free agency, and I thought I'd give him a shot for the stuff the Beaver, and he's found a new home. And I mean, if we click on him, he's actually not doing too bad for one
How
of our
thoughtful
free
of
agents
you.
in this leagues. I mean, he's averaging not too bad of points. I mean, you see these last 3 weeks, 9, 6, 4. I mean, for a free agent though in this league, that's pretty good. I mean, you're
How
not
many
gonna
times
get
have I owned him? You scroll down.
Andy Yakum, Kevin
I
Parker.
don't know. He was drafted in the OG draft. He must have been on the Titans when we had this draft.
100%.
Oh, that's almost 4 years ago. That's kind of maddening.
That
But
is
yeah,
crazy.
good for Austin Hooper. Did not think he'd be getting a start in
I
this
don't-
league this year,
real
especially
quick-
from a team that's trying to win.
Exactly. I don't even know if Trey Harris is even projected any points.
He is
Oh, okay.
How has
Well,
he done this year? Frank and I were talking about him earlier. Can we click on him? real fast?
irrelevant.
It's just not good. I mean,
That's a bummer.
everyone thought that Quentin Johnson was going to be a bust this year, and he's proved everybody wrong, and he was going to slide in that spot.
And Keenan didn't sign till what?
Yeah.
July.
Yeah, so that really sucked. So going back for 205, I don't even know who I would have took there. Probably maybe Alec. No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have taken Alec.
Everyone wants to talk about how they would have taken
I
Alec
probably-
at 205 and 206 now that they've seen what he's done. Absolutely nobody had Alec on their radar besides Matt Hendricks, who flipped a coin for him or Jaden Blue at 212 or 211. I'm so tired of everyone in the chat talking about Alec. Yeah, my freaking rear
Let's
end.
just put it this way. If I stuck at, I believe I was at 208 originally, Trey Harris was a guy I thought about. I'm very happy I traded up to 202 to take him at Kuka. Because, man, that would have been a major
Big
issue.
swing on the team.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Wade,
JP,
I'll give you.
have
Wade, I'll
anything?
give you
go
this.
ahead, Wade, yeah.
Troy Franklin disappointed me last night.
Hey, Nick Westbrook
and
Akine is getting some run. Good for him.
And then Kendra Miller, as I mentioned when Ty was on, just saw the most carries he's ever seen in an NFL game, and he looked all right doing it. 11 carries for 65 yards or something. Not going to click on and fact check myself there. Don't want to be wrong, but I believe it was something in that ballpark, and a touchdown in a competitive game versus the Bills. That's something you like to see. Makes me curious if they're ramping up to trade Kamara, which could be huge for both the real world team he ends up on and the fantasy realm. So just hoping to see something from Kendra Miller again, but obviously give me the Beaver.
Yeah, Beav's
No,
going to come away.
honestly, JP, going back to that 205 pick, I probably would have took Devin Neal. Honest to God.
See, that's what I'm saying. It was
That's
like
what I
Devin.
probably
That was like the Devin Neal, Jack Bech, Trey Harris. Who else was in that realm? Elijah Arroyo, Terrence Ferguson, Harold
Dude.
Fan. I took Harold Fan in 206.
I was
Jack
going to
Bech
say,
in 207.
no man's land is probably the best way. That's why people get weird with second round picks in Dynasty, because it is truly a mixed bag, man. If it's not within the first 3 to 4 picks of that round, you are throwing darts.
You are throwing
have
darts.
It's
no
not
idea.
It's not Savion Williams, but who's the other Williams that went to New England? I can't.
Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams. That was the other guy. Who was in the
He
Browns.
went 210, I think.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
So
Another thriller here, guys. Matt in desperate need of a win after getting off the winless stretch last week. He's got Jack, who Jack has, like JP has mentioned in previous episodes, found ways to lose or make things way too close for himself. But once again, Drake May is really the only guy who shows up for Jack on a consistent basis, which is how he wants it. And we obviously talked in the recaps about Jack's lineup and fraction in week 4. I know you guys will touch more on this for the previews. I just don't really have much to add here substance wise. For Henny, it was good for him to get a win last week. I think at this point, you're just still looking to see big numbers be put up by certain guys on your end to build confidence for when you do play teams in this league that are trying to compete. And Jamar Chase, right? I'll continue to see what the rest of the season looks like for him because Jake Browning is just so terrible. And obviously not a good week for Gino against the Bears. So he's looking for some guys to bounce back and just trying to figure out really here who he can play in games that mean something. I'll go with Henny and I'll pass it to JP.
Yeah, I will echo that. And the one thing I will say, we touched on it in the recap on the trade that Matt made, giving up Devontae Adams for a first and a fourth. It was a great move because he could still win with the roster he currently has. Now, that is all hanging on Jamar Chase. Like we also talked about in the recap, how bad Jake Browning is, and their schedule doesn't get much easier. Unfortunately, they're in a division with tough defenses, and they still have to play the who do oh I was just about to say Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago, who we should be getting Kyler Gordon back. I don't know how much that's going to
Hopefully.
change. I guess our defense is just not very good. Which so sorry to speak out of tongue there, but Green Bay's defense has looked solid outside that game against Dallas, and Detroit's defense has shockingly been pretty damn good. So it'll be interesting to see if Chase ever gets it going. Otherwise, it might be time for Matt to not sell the farm, but sell some of these vets to the competing teams, even the younger teams, and just try and get any picks you can and go into next year, hit on your rookie picks, and look to start competing that way. Because if Chase can't get it going, this season's thrown away.
I 100% agree. I'm going to echo you, but as we talked about in the preview, I think Nick Chubb's dead. As we saw this last week, it's Woody Mark's game in Houston now. I mean, he saw the most carries. I think we said he had 15. I don't know.
17.
17. But I mean, he looked great, man. I talked about this in the preview too. I traded him to Frank for a fourth. It makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, but hey,
You
that's
couldn't have foreseen Mixon getting hurt though.
that is
Yeah,
very
and
true.
I still don't like Woody Marks. I got to see it more than once. I think he only had like 65 yards or something like that. Was it that
No.
crazy? I don't remember.
He had 28 fantasy points.
Yeah,
Oh boy. I don't know how he did in the receiving. I think he only had like 65 rushing yards though.
yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, Jamar Chase. I don't even think he's gonna have 10 points again this week. I mean, that Detroit defense looked pretty solid against Cleveland. It's gonna be another rough one for him. So I'd hammer Jamar's under in receptions and yards. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm taking Matt here.
Alrighty, and before we get to the only other matchup besides mine and Ty's that really means anything this week, guys, Frank is going to improve to 4-1 by taking down Dade, as Dade does not have Jordan Love. Who will his quarterback be? Does he have a quarterback to play this week?
I don't believe he does.
No, because Penix is on a
Penix
bye.
is on bye too. Nope.
Yikes. Tough for Dade, but hey, shout out Dade 2-2, man. I mean, that's obviously a lot more than what he could have said a year ago. For Dade's side, guys, I'm looking at Cam Scatabo again with no Tyrone Tracy to see what that looks like against New Orleans and what'll be a really ugly football game. Good to have Xavier Worthy back for Dade, having an actual receiver. I believe, as I say, Frank's going to play Jaden Higgins this week. All right.
He's got to.
Yeah, with
Neighbors
injuries
out. Yeah.
injuries, buys that'll be that. We'll see what happens there on the injury front for Frank and what that looks like moving forward. Similar to what I talked about with Matt, still looking on Frank's side of things to see guys have continued success. McBride's been awesome. You want to see a good game out of Tet and others just to echo consistency and have more confidence of who he can roster, who he can start when facing more competitive teams. But hey, no matter how you get to 4-1 in your first 5 in this league, you're never going to complain with it. So a nice, easy win for Frank here.
Yeah. Only thing I'll echo is I can't, as Andy mentioned, rosters aren't final for the week. I'd imagine Higgins hits the bench, Flowers. Maybe this is final. I'd imagine that. Oh wow, he really has no other receivers to play.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, never mind. Well, I'd imagine still in any way that Woody Marks makes his way into this starting lineup. If I had to take a guess here,
A lot of
seeing
Texans in there.
seeing. Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even realize Schultz. And then one other thing, Dalton Kincaid finished last week with one catch on 2 targets for 28 yards and 1 touchdown, as we discussed in the recap. I thought that was hilarious though, because when I was watching that game, I saw him score down the sideline. I was like, oh my gosh, Kincaid's got to be going off for Frank. I pull up, that was literally his
His
first
only
target
thing he
of the
did.
only his first target. And then even funnier is I was like, it was his 3rd touchdown of the year, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Kincaid's got 3 touchdowns. Oh, and then they said that that's the most he's had in his short career, like in a season, is 3 touchdowns. So then I went and checked like how great Kincaid was doing, and he was only the tight end 6 with 3 touchdowns on the year. I was like, damn,
It's a
Kincaid is
tough year to be a
very,
tight end.
very, very boomer bust. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Got anything, Beef?
No, I got nothing, boys. Frank by a mile. It's good, like you guys said. It's good to see Dade in the win column, though.
All righty, Commish. You got the 4-0 Hunley's Hicks. We briefly touched on it when Ty was running through his rapid fire. Your thoughts, brother? An opportunity for you to get your 4th win of the season.
yeah, it's extremely important what's going on here. Not only is my season at stake, but my legacy is at stake. I just want Luke to know that we will not take it easy on him. We don't care if he taps out. We will keep going. Okay, we don't quit on
Love
this
that.
side of the line. And I just want him to know that Derrick Henry will be scoring 30 points. Christian McCaffrey will be scoring 25 points. Brian Thomas, Justin Jefferson, and Marvin Harrison will combine for 80 between the 3 of them. I'm putting up 180 points this week. You can book it now. And I just want Luke to know he will be losing by 40. And the meme onslaught that I'm going to be sending his way is going to be like something he has never seen in his entire life. I've already been cooking things up today. I'm already cooking him up for when I beat him. I just want Luke to know that this is going to be absolutely terrible for him. From Thursday to Monday night, I am going to rain hell on him. And you know what? If I lose, so be it. So be it. But just know, Luke, I'm coming. Tuck's coming. And be prepared for what is coming with it. Give me myself by 40, 180 to 138.
All righty. You want to scroll up real quick? I just got one thing I want to add before. I mean, I'm picking JP as well. Just a 5-0 start, man. I just can't see it. Yeah, I think Ty also mentions the starting Krosky, Merritt, Slayton. Knowing Luke and his devil magic, he could actually get some big time production from those guys. But the matchups, the personnel, I mean, all signs point to the commish. And JP, you burned me last week, but I don't think you're going to burn me again. And like I said, 5-0 start. Have we ever had a 5-0 start in this league? I think we have.
I think I started 5-0.
Has Boyer? I think Boyer started 5-0
Boyer
too.
might have, and I think Bauer did our first year.
It's okay. Either way, it is really hard to win your first 5 games. We're looking at a
is.
probability logical standpoint. Luke's had some good luck thus far to run him up to 4-0, but I think that comes to a halt here. I trust JP's team more, so I'll take the commish.
Yeah, just one thing I want to add. I'm taking the JP here as well. I really think this is Brian Thomas's game. I think he's gonna have 30 points. Take his over, take his anytime touchdown. I'm banking on a Brian Thomas revenge game right here. I don't know why I said revenge, but I'm just feeling a Brian Thomas game. Luke's side, he's gonna really miss Bijan for this week. And yes, he's 4-0, but like I said last week in the pot, he's played nobody. This is gonna be his first game to see if he can hang with the big dogs or if he's just in the middle of the pack. So we have to see if his team can actually hang around or if they're just a bunch of wannabes that just want to go up against the mid teams and score a bunch of points. So that's all I got.
Alrighty, so our final everyone literally picked the exact same, if my memory serves correct, with the exception of you two taking Ty to beat me and myself taking me to beat Ty. JP, what are our records among the panel entering week 5?
Yep. So last week you and Drew went 6-1. I went 5-2. Drew picked Zippy to beat me. I picked myself and you picked me. Zippy also went 5-2. He could have been perfect if he just picked normally, but he picked Brady to beat Boyer and he picked Jack to beat Frank, which did not happen. And then the other pick I missed was Dade against Matt, which did not happen. And Drew got a little ahead of himself. Could have had a perfect week, but took Crunk to beat Luke, which was not even close. So as it stands, Andy, you're 21-7, and me and Drew are 20-8.
All righty.
That
Gotta
sucks.
love that. Gotta love that. We'll go straight from this to our power rankings here.
I love it.
And the best part is normally JP will show us before, but we're going into this blind. So we do not know what this looks like until right now. And JP, obviously, this being your baby, I'll give you the floor and the mic here to really take the reins. And we see a lot of green and red throughout the middle, some movement even toward the top this week.
Yep. I want to preface this by I kept myself at 1. As I discussed during the recap, were it not for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry leaving 5 minutes into the third quarter and sitting out the rest of the game, I would have for certain beat Zippy. And if it weren't for Garrett Wilson's total BS on Monday Night Football and Aaron Glenn not being able to take a loss like a man and start 0-4,
Monster.
I'd be undefeated going to play Luke. And so because of that, I felt it wasn't necessary to move myself because of a technicality. So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, Drew, you had Cam Boyer at once, so why don't we talk about that? I thought that I get the winning streak, but he only scored 143 points this week, less than I scored in a loss, as Andy knows well about scoring a lot in a loss. So I just kind of wanted to know what was going through your head as to why Boyer's number 1.
Yeah, I think it's just a fluke week. I just want to give him his praise still. I think his boys are still one of the best teams in this, and I think he's the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, and then you also had Zippy 2. I had Zippy down at 5. I know he's not gonna like
Dude,
that, but
I just want to say the 2 through 6, man, we are just all over the place. Literally,
yeah, no,
I don't
are.
think
And
this is probably the most all over the place we've been in a while.
I will be completely honest. I looked at the pass rankings, saw what we've been doing, what the trend has been, and I wanted to be as true and honest as I actually thought teams have been through the first 4 weeks of play,
Thanks,
how
man.
I view them, and yeah, this is truly and honestly, I didn't go off roster talent, I didn't go off anything, I just went off what I've seen through 4 weeks and who I trust to keep doing what's happening, and this is the results I came out with. So yeah, I had Zippy down at 5. I think he won on fluke week. Should be 2-2 right now. And the injuries keep stacking up. Bucky Irving, Marcus Mariota still got to go out there. Purdy looked god awful against Jacksonville. That obviously probably won't keep up because Shanahan's a whisperer, but I was not feeling the Zippy hot hand. And then Andy, you kept Frank at 2, even among the neighbors or amidst the neighbors' injury. And Drew, you had him at 6. So Andy, why don't you make your points for 2, and Drew, you combat him at 6.
Yeah, I think obviously look for the future, but look at the past as well. Frank's a 3-1 team, and I think that deserves to be put up there. His big time guys have showed up, and he's won the games he's supposed to have won. It was really hard, honestly. I couldn't put Jake at 2, and I was between those two, and I trust Frank's group, even though the neighbor's injury, Frank's team as a whole is much healthier right now, and that's what I prioritized in my rankings. So that's why I put Frank over Jake for the 2-3 spots.
Yeah, and I mean, I only had Frank at 3, so I'm also not that scared off by the neighbor's injury. Drew, why'd you have Frank down at 6?
Yeah, I mean, I took him off because I am actually scared of the neighbor's injury. As we talked just now, he has no depth at receiver. Uh, so if another receiver gets hurt, I mean, he's genuinely screwed. And with these bye weeks coming up, and if he plays like a Zippy or a Yak, it's really going to be a tough hole to fill for him to beat one of those teams if not even another receiver. Especially if he has 2 of those receivers on the bye. It's going to be a little fun to see what he does. But I'm not sold on Frake's team this year. I don't know. His QB play is not the best. Bo Nix had a great game last night, but I'm not sold on Cam Ward or C.J. Stroud. They've looked god awful this year. Granted, the Texans won this week, but they're playing the worst team in the league. I genuinely think they're worse than the Saints. Uh, so yeah, I got a lot. I got some concerns for Frank's team. I don't know. I think the neighbors' loss is gonna really hurt him.
Yeah, I get that. And Andy, kind of as you alluded to, I think it's hilarious that 2 through 5, we don't have any solid. Your average rank was 4, and you're our 5th team on the board. If you and so I sung your praise here. I put
I
you at
appreciate it,
2.
man.
I mean, I think are you our highest scoring team in the league or second highest scoring? So that deserves what it deserves. I mean, you're putting the numbers up. The record does not
I am
reflect
the
the
highest scoring
points.
team in the
Yep.
league.
See,
Yeah,
so that does not reflect the record that you are putting up. What are you sitting at? 3-1 right now, I believe. Correct.
I'm 2-2.
Even worse. So there
Yeah,
we go. And so I'm siding with the points for, and I'm a big points for guy in fantasy, and a lot of people redraft. They go 1-3, and they're the 3rd highest scoring team in their redraft league, and it's no different over here on the dynasty side. So I sung your praise there.
thank you, man.
Luke, Beav, Ty, Matt to finish out 6, 7, 8, 9. Luke, we were all over the place on you. 4, 6, 8. Andy gave you the benefit with the record. I'd imagine is
Undefeated
that
team.
what?
Yeah, undefeated
Yep,
team. Or
yep.
not
So
put that. That's
it's
not
I
fun.
completely riding the record.
I
Drew's
can't,
still holding
man.
grudges for
I
the loss 2
I
weeks ago.
can't, man. I can't. Like he's literally played no one good.
Yeah.
Like I can't, bro. I
To
can't.
make I'll to make my logic as to why I put myself 6 real quick and why the other 2 were ahead of me. Boyer beat me. That's why I put him at 5, and then I put Luke above Boyer because of his record. So
Yeah,
it was hard
that
to do that.
that all makes sense. Beav, we knocked you down. Well, you moved up, but I had you at 7, Andy at 8, yourself at 5. I don't think you've scored over 150 once this year, so I'm just kind of seeing what's ringing in your head as to the 5th ranking. Is it the record? Is it you're just finding ways to win? What are we looking at here?
No, I'm just staying consistent, man. I mean, I scored 140, 49 this week, 143 when I lost to Luke. If CD doesn't get hurt, I truly go over 150 that week. And if Caleb doesn't kneel at the end of the game, I have 150 points there. So I mean, I'm right at the border. So I mean, I'm right there. I think I can still hang with everybody in the pack. I mean, I just won this week with starting Josh Palmer at my flex. So I mean, I think I can hang with everyone still. So I think I'm one of the top 5 teams in the league.
Okay. Well, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? And if you guys don't care, I'm going to talk for these last 7 teams. And if you guys
Go
feel
for
any
it.
different, please cut me off and
Go
throw
for it.
yourself in. But I think we all kind of moved Ty down in agreement that we saw what his team's floor is. And boy, is it an ugly floor. I know he mentioned if he played Debo, things would have looked a little better, but it's got to be scary when Montgomery goes from putting up 30-1. That's very concerning. We'll see if that persists. Matt, obviously discussed, traded Devontae Adams. Team got a little worse, and he's also struggling to score high points. Brady getting the nod moving up. I think we all just saw him go toe to toe with Boyer, and if he had Justin Fields and Travis Etienne, he would have scored 155 and been 4-0 and just beat Boyer. So as I sung his praise multiple episodes ago, we're looking at a championship team. Dade moving down. As I've said multiple times, Crook, Jack, and Wade holding out the bottom. Hopefully they never move, and that was right. But that's all we got going for the power rankings.
All righty.
I got nothing.
There you
I
have
got
it.
nothing.
There you have it. We got 2 things to close out the show. We'll first get to our picks of the week. That's coming up next here on the Just Beavin podcast. All righty, Drew. Before I get to you and have us run through this segment, JP, how do we do in our picks of the week last week?
So last week, Andy took the Rams money line to beat the Colts. That hit. I took Falcons money line as the underdogs versus Washington. That hit. Drew took Chargers minus 6.5. The Chargers lost the game outright. That puts the group at 2-1 last week. Andy at 2-2 overall. Me at 3-1 overall. Drew at 1-3 overall. As a group, we've clawed our way back to 500, and we're sitting at 6-6 now, headed into week 5.
Hey, I just want to say real quick that I told everyone last week to sprinkle on Steelers money line. I should have sticked with it as my original play, so I technically went 1-1 this week.
Nope. 0-1.
I just want to let you know that.
All righty, Drew. It's your segment, man. You got 1 minute. Let's knock it out.
Yeah, we're looking to bounce back, especially me. I'm off to a rough 3-game losing streak here. JP, what are you thinking this week?
Yep. So as I'm staring at FanDuel Sportsbook in the eye, there's one shiny gold star-looking thing staring at me. We're going to be taking the Saints, the worst team in the NFL, to beat the Giants. That is an absolute hammer. I said it in a group chat. Everyone is going to be picking the Giants because, oh, dart. The Saints are so bad. The Saints are so bad. The Saints are so bad. Not only that, I'm putting $100 on it. I will send my bet slip to Beaverfest to post so you all can see that I'm putting $100 on it. The Saints are beating the Giants. Book it. Jackson Dart's a fraud. Go Saints.
All right, thank you. I love the play. Yak, how about you?
This is amazing because I'm taking the Giants money line over the Saints on the road. I am riding the dart train. I think I've said it before, New Orleans is terrible, and I haven't picked an underdog yet this year. And I just love what I saw from New York last week, a gritty victory against a good Chargers team. Give me the Giants, money line, road dogs. I'll get 2 wins in a row here.
All righty. Well, I'm going to close it out with I am going to take my Chargers again this week. I'm taking them -2.5 against the Commanders. I think Herbert bounces back at home, and I think it's an easy dub.
All righty, there you have it. Our picks for the week. We have one special thing to wrap out this edition of the Just Beavin podcast, and that's coming up next. All righty, we're not wrapping the show out with our picks of the week. That is right. If you've stayed locked into our Instagram, beaver.fest, done a little bit of a contest, a raffle, a giveaway, some would phrase it as. We are spinning the wheel. This was to increase social media engagement on our end. We are going to spin the wheel of everyone who entered on our post. The winner of this wheel spin will get a guest appearance on the podcast. We are going to spin it twice. Beav is controlling the wheel. We are going to spin it twice. In the event that the first wheel spin person that we get either declines for whatever reason or we can't schedule a time, we are going to spin this thing twice. This is everyone who has entered through our Instagram page. We thank you all so much for tapping in, staying locked in on our social media page. And we hope to, use it more. And who knows, maybe we'll do this more in the future. So without further ado, Beav, let's spin that wheel.
Here we go.
Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows.
And these are people from all, friends of everyone throughout the league. So some of the people we know personally, some of them we do not. Either way, it's going to be a good time. No matter who our guest is. Who do we got? Oh, for a split second, JP. Still haven't stopped yet. There it is.
Beaverfest loyalist Jason Hughes.
Jason Hughes
will
be
a great one to have on
our
the show.
guest. Will be our guest if Jason, we can't schedule a time with him, or he declines. Beav, who will our backup option be? As we continue to await the wheel spin.
I want to throw out Jane Dolphin. That's my pick.
JP, it was almost your girlfriend there for a minute.
I know. She's going to be extremely disappointed. She wanted to go on if she can hear me in the other room.
Oh, please. Oh, so close.
Oh, Anthony Zaparo?
Our backup option.
Anthony Zaparo.
Anthony Zaparo, cousin of Jake Zaparo.
All right.
So if we can't get Jason, if we can't find a time, if it doesn't work out, our backup will be Anthony Zaparo. Thank you all so much for entering out on our post. Make sure to stay locked in beaver.fest. I have a feeling we're going to be doing this a lot more in the future. And thank you all so much for tuning in to season 2, episode 5 of the Just Beavin podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We catch you all next week. Same place, same time.